Welcome to this special ASQ webcast presentation of a recent quality progress article titled Make the Connection, where we asked experts to weigh in on ways to cultivate an effective workplace culture in today's ever-evolving hybrid work arrangements. Presenting on the topic of teamwork and collaboration in hybrid workplaces, we have Luciana Paulise. Now, a little bit about Luciana. So, Luciana is a culture coach, speaker, and author. She's the founder of BizStorming Training and Consulting LLC, and she's the author of 5S Your Life, We Culture, which just published through ASQ Quality Press, and a Forbes contributor. Last but not least, she is a proud mom and wife and a very active ASQ contributor. All right, with that, let me pass it over to Luciana to get started.
Hi, Pablo. Thank you very much for the introduction. Well, yes, this is a great article that I love to be part of because really connection is very important in workplaces. And we realize after the pandemic how tricky it can be when you're not working in the same place, when you're working distributed in different places all around the world. So what we've seen is that, yeah, this has brought some good things like almost 400 more remote jobs, which is giving opportunities to a lot of people be part of the workplace, no matter where they live, no matter any disabilities they have, there are more opportunities, right? But we've also seen that we only have 21% of those employees really engaged at work. We're seeing more employees being stressed. The studies are showing that 43% of employees, when you ask them, did you have a stressful day yesterday? They say yes. And this is really bad for the economy and of course for everyone involved, where all around the world there's around $900 billion lost yearly because of that. And of course this is bringing people um, to quit, and some to quiet quit. Probably you've seen these quiet quitting a lot lately. And yes, those are the employees that are, if you had 21% that are engaged, then what about the other ones? The other ones are not engaged or actively disengaged. So 50% of the employees are actually quiet quitting, which means that they are not contributing to their best in the organization. So this can be seen as challenges that are very difficult for the organization. Remote workers, for instance, often are overlooked. They feel like they don't have the same opportunities. They feel like on-site employees are favored for promotions and assignments. So many, of course, not everyone, but many remote employees are demoralized. They feel left out of decisions. They feel left out of projects, that they feel like they receive less feedback because they don't see their managers every day. They of course are receiving less feedback, so they also receive less positive reinforcement for the things that they are really doing well. So this means that we when we're working remotely, we have to be more intentional about what we want, about when we want to communicate. When we're on site, well, you maybe you see your coworkers every day, so if there's something that comes up in your mind, you can talk to them and talk about it. Or you can notice if they are sad, even though they're not trying to communicate with you, you can see that. But when you're online, only if you want to know about them, you have to communicate with them, you have to contact them. Maybe they don't even turn on the camera on daily meetings or weekly meetings or group meetings, so you don't know about them unless you try. So that's why all these little behaviors, the things that we do day to day, do we turn on the camera or we don't turn it on? Do we communicate on Slack or we don't do it? How many meetings we have, how many one-on-ones we have, how many interactions we have? These are part of the culture of the company. Is the culture promoting the interactions or is not? So what we're seeing is that when you are in hybrid workplaces or you're working remotely, the impact of culture is really high, right? Because that's how, through these behaviors, through how many interactions you have with your manager, is how you get embedded into the corporate culture. So what we're seeing is that when there's a corporate culture that is toxic or negative, that is the first predictor of attrition. That is what's making people feel so sad. And it's 10 times stronger than that you would say salary. So if you see the reasons why people are leaving companies, is the number 16 is salary, but number one is toxic corporate culture. So what does that mean for us? It means that corporate culture and how these behaviors get to the employees can really make them feel bad. Like, for instance, when there's not enough safe space to speak, or when they feel like I said before, they feel left out of decisions, or they feel like they are not asked, they feel not seen, they start feeling like they don't have psychological safety at work. That means that they cannot say what they think. Again, maybe this is not the case, but this is how they are feeling, because they feel like they cannot contribute. So they start with imposter syndrome, for instance, and they start thinking, "Oh, maybe I'm not as good as they hire me, but I'm not really that good as they thought. Maybe they will, lay me off very soon. I'm not as good with my, I'm not good enough." And those type of feelings start making people get disengaged. They also feel loneliness in some people, people that are part of minorities, maybe the Hispanic community, Black, maybe women, or maybe people from different countries, maybe different from people from different ages, maybe someone that is young in a very old population, or maybe there are many things that can help you feel only, like you're the only one in the group with that characteristic. And that also is a way of getting people disengaged. So that also ends up in a lack of self-confidence. That means that it's not only that you don't feel like you can contribute, but you don't even feel like you can contribute, because you feel like, oh, there's nothing I can say that it will be useful for them. They will laugh at me, or they will feel like this is silly. So that brings anxiety and depression. So it brings depression about, oh, the last meeting that I had, or the last project, it was not that successful, or anxiety about the future. Are they gonna fire me? What's gonna happen with my promotions? What's gonna happen with my next project? Are they going to include me? So all these things get people to be disengaged. So what I'm bringing here to you when I wrote this latest book, We Culture, is about how can we change the culture so that instead of working in a toxic culture, we can work in a we culture. That so it's easy it's hard to say, oh, do we have a negative or a positive culture? But you can see if you have a me or a we culture. So whenever you talk about your projects, you say, oh, my project, or oh, I lost this, or I fell here, or I got something good here. Or you say, we did it, we got this wrong, we got this right. So it's if you start hearing you and your team talking, you will feel those things, and you will realize what kind of culture you have. But there are more things. For instance, I mean, culture, you work more in silos with short-term focus. That means that you focus on what's your team working on. What can you accomplish? How can you get that? No matter if the other teams are getting, good or bad about it. If you can blame them, you blame them so that you can get more on your side. Or maybe you focus more on the processes than on people. Okay, you make sure that everything is done on time, right? But you don't know how people in your team are feeling. Sometimes you left people out just because you feel like they will maybe delay the project, and you're not involving them. So they feel bad about it, and then they don't want to contribute anywhere else, right? You prioritize people that are like you. You feel more confident that, I don't know, if you're a woman, you want to work with other women, but What about other men? Can they contribute to your project? How can they bring something good? Sometimes it's about your background. Maybe you're you're quality engineer, so you want to work with our fellow working quality engineers. What about bringing someone from design that can bring a new perspective, right? But that's more about how how to bring a different thinking about how you normally think, right? So instead of prioritizing others like me, what can I do instead? And the last one, why is it that I usually prioritize others just like me? Because I don't trust others. I feel like I can do things better. So instead of delegating, I try to keep the good tasks for myself, the more challenging ones. Then I leave just the basic things, and I keep an eye on my employees so that I can see that they're doing what they have to do. But I really don't trust them. So we culture is instead more focused on caring about everyone in the company, caring about your coworkers, caring about people on top of you, like supervisors, managers, caring about the community, caring about the suppliers, the clients that are getting your services, and you start to get more on, instead of working in silos, getting more connection, instead of focusing on the processes, paying more attention to the people and how they feel about it and how they can contribute, listening to what they want to say. Instead of prioritizing others like me, try to respect other perspectives and try to see how they can help you work better too, and maybe bring some synergy. And last, instead of just trusting that you are the best that can do something, maybe if you empower other people, you can realize that they can do it well too, maybe in a different way, but over time they get more and more empowerment and they get better. They can do their job much better, but if you give them the space. So this is kind of the introduction to the way culture, but let's focus today. What can we do to gain more connection? Connection, again, is crucial, especially in times of crisis when people are on their own. If they're working remotely, they don't know what's going on, they fear to ask and they fear to connect. They may not ask you for a one-on-one because they fear that you will you will not want it, you will not have some time for that. So if you're a leader, always offer weekly meetings, at least 10 minutes or so, so that you can connect more. Let's see now some of the things that you can do. Some are for leaders, some are for employees. But let's try to see how you can implement it in your day-to-day. So again, as leaders, just try to bring more one-on-one connections, but again, try to make them often. If you're an employee, what can you do? You can just ask for them. Don't be afraid to ask for them. Both as a leader and as employees, use synchronous and asynchronous communication methods. That means that you can use Slack, you can use text messages, things that you just throw out there and they will reply. But you can also use the phone, use Zoom, things that you can stay live with that person so that you can get the feedback right away. That if you're anxious about something, or you're worried about a presentation, just reach out to your coworkers, to your manager, and see what's going on at that time. But use as many ways of communication as possible, because some people prefer kind of mails or text. Some other prefer seeing you or listening to you. So try to see what's better for each of your coworkers. Organize more meetings than before. Again, just like the one-on-ones, also meetings in general. If you organize meetings for larger groups, that's also great. Try to organize them or try to be part of them so that you can start getting to know others and feel how others are feeling too, right? You may realize that they are also feeling lonely sometimes, or they are also worried about the future of the company. So try to be open to see what's there. Some more strategies are, for instance, using apps. There are many apps nowadays that can help you and your team organize tasks. You can use Asana, Trello, Sansama. There are many ways that you can help your task. Also, Jira is very common in when people are using agile methods. try to use them to see what are they doing, how you can help them, how they can help you. Okay, we're very used to the kind of the culture of hiding these things or keeping them private, but that's also, making it hard to connect with others and see how you can help each other. So try to expose as much as possible, not only work in progress but also results, so that instead of blaming each other for whatever is wrong, you try to see how you can fix it. Plan to work hybrid. If you're working remotely, check if there's an opportunity that you can meet, maybe once a year or maybe once a month. Try to meet your coworkers, or try to go to the office often if that's possible. And if it's not possible, well, try to find ways to get more meetings online, more big meetings online, so that you can connect. There's no reason for you to feel disconnected just because you're working remotely, but there must be a way that you like, that you enjoy, and that is possible for your team. Also, as a leader, it's good to be the example. Okay, many companies, what we're seeing is that when there's the option to work remotely or to work from home or to work from the office, leaders are decide or are asked to work from the office, to set the example, right? But what happened with that is that employees that are working remotely or partially working remotely, they feel left out, right? Because they know that their manager is always on site. So as a manager, why don't you try or ask your own manager, hey, can we work from home once a week or twice a week, so that you show that everyone can work from home or from the office, and it's the same. It doesn't reduce your results. Use platforms to help you connect with individuals, with teams. There are many platforms. Use the Zoom, use the Slack, WebEx, and there are so many others. There are so many also, like Donut, that you can use to have random meetings with people from your company that you don't know. They just, it's kind of like the Tinder for the office. So use those. Those are also great ways to bring these random encounters, like you had in the office, and help improve the experience of your own workers during meetings by standardizing certain behaviors. Meaning that if you're sharing something, why don't you make sure that you can share it not only physically but also on the computer? There are many apps, like I use Mural.co a lot. It helps you use kind of post-its if you're trying to do brainstorming sessions, fishbone diagrams, Pareto charts, or just doing Kanban. Anything you can do it through the app, so that everyone in the meeting can see the same thing that you see. If you're using a board, you're telling the people, okay, so only the ones that are here are the ones that can contribute, and the other ones feel left out. So try to standardize these things. Try to have always a camera in meeting rooms, or try to find apps that help you vote or help you contribute, so that you help everyone feeling more part of the company wherever they are. So just as a summary, I kind of wanna show you kind of this virtuous cycle that we see when we're working in a weak culture, and how toxic can become this cycle if we're working more in the mid culture. So in the mid culture, we focus so much on meeting this quota, focusing on these numbers, not so much on the people, focusing on the process get done and quickly. That brings a lot of stress and depression. Just people feel more like they have to, if they don't bring great results or great numbers, that puts them on the bad spot. So that creates disengagement and the fear of being fired. And in the end, if you don't fire them, they will leave the company. This will bring more costs, more turnover, more mistakes, because a lot of turnover brings a lot of learning curves, and which is what we're seeing a lot of companies that had a lot of resignations, that the employees that stay are having a lot of trouble by getting things done the right way. So that's why it's so important to make sure that the people stay in the company. So in order to bring more of a culture, try to bring a system where people feel cared, that they feel heard, feel seen. This is so important. Make sure that your team is feeling heard and seen. This will bring happy employees, that they will bring their best at work, which will bring, of course, that they will design better products for their customers, bring more attention to the customer, to the suppliers, better customer service, which in the end will increase profits with much less effort, because you will have less people leaving the company, less, you won't have to hire people because people will come to you. You don't have to do a lot of efforts to promote the company. Like, people will want to join the company. And of course, clients will also be recommended by these employees. Imagine, it's a very positive effect, and it's good for everyone. Everyone will feel much better, will feel that will contribute to the company, and engagement will definitely increase. Mhm. So this is kind of the summary, Pablo. I hope this was useful. Like I said, this is all this information is available in my new book that was published by Quality Press.
All right. Well, wow. Thank you so much, Luciana, for taking the time to share this wonderful advice with our ASQ community. If you'd like to connect with Luciana with your questions or for coaching or guidance on taking your team from a me culture to a we culture, you can email her directly your questions at luciana@bizstorming.com. You can also check out her website, which is theweculture.com, and there she has webinars and interviews and resources in both Spanish and English. And if you'd like to check out our website at ASQ for more information on this, or for the rest of the series on the Make the Connection webcast series, you can go to asq.org/search. And like Luciana mentioned, if you want to find her book, you can find that at ASQ's Quality Press bookstore at asq.org/quality-press. All right. Well, thanks everybody, and thanks Luciana again, and we hope to see you all at our next webcast event.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.